Welcome to our exclusive highlight reel of the interview with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the war in Ukraine. This candid conversation holds immense significance in understanding the current global affairs. We'll explore Putin's historical claims to Western Ukraine, focus on the war's origins and progression, and address concerns of U.S. aggression. We'll also delve into the historical background of Russia-Ukraine relations and Putin's insights into historical events. So, stay tuned as we delve into this engaging conversation. President Putin strongly believes in Russia's historical claim to parts of Western Ukraine. According to him, the roots of this conflict go deep into history, back to the times when these territories were integral parts of Russia. He points to a time when the borders of Ukraine were different, when areas like Lviv, once a part of Poland, became part of Ukraine. Putin argues that the Soviet Union, in its attempt to appease the Ukrainian socialists, gifted parts of Russia's territory to Ukraine. His belief is that historically speaking, these territories were never truly Ukrainian, but rather, they were Russian lands that were temporarily in Ukraine's possession due to political decisions made by past leaders. He contends that the historical narrative and identity of these regions have been Russian for centuries, and it's this deep-rooted history that fuels the ongoing conflict. This historical perspective sets the stage for understanding the ongoing conflict. The war in Ukraine is a complex issue with deep historical roots. As we delve into the intricacies of this conflict, it's important to remember that every war is a tapestry of interconnected events, decisions, and circumstances. To understand the origins of this war, we must trace our steps back to the collapse of the Soviet Union in the early 90s. The dissolution of this superpower left a power vacuum in its wake, giving rise to a wave of nationalism and independence movements across the region. Ukraine was no exception. And tensions between pro-Russian and pro-European factions within the country began to simmer. Fast forward to 2014, we find Ukraine at a crossroads, with a decision that would ignite a full-blown conflict. The government's choice to lean towards the European Union over Russia was met with resistance, particularly in the eastern regions of Donetsk and Luhansk, where pro-Russian sentiments were strong. This decision resulted in an armed conflict that continues to this day. According to Vladimir Putin, Russia's involvement in the war is a response to what he perceives as a direct threat to Russian-speaking communities in eastern Ukraine. He believes that these communities were being marginalized and persecuted, and thus, Russia's intervention was necessary. While this perspective is contested globally, it helps us understand one facet of this multifaceted conflict. Now let's examine Russia's concerns about potential U.S. aggression. The specter of U.S. aggression looms large in Russia's foreign policy. It's a concern that's been voiced time and again by none other than President Vladimir Putin himself. According to Putin, the possibility of U.S. aggression is not just a hypothetical but a substantial concern that influences Russia's actions on the global stage. He asserts that Russia's stance is not one of aggression, but rather, a necessary defense against potential threats. In Putin's own words, "We are not seeking confrontation with the United States, we are merely ensuring our security, protecting our people, and our sovereignty." He further emphasizes that any action taken by Russia is a response to what they perceive as U.S. encroachment on their interests. This perspective provides a necessary context to understand the dynamic between these two global powers. It's a complex, multifaceted issue that extends beyond the current conflict in Ukraine. Moving on, let's look at the historical background of Russia-Ukraine relations. The present is a reflection of the past. The complex history of Russia-Ukraine relations is no exception. The roots of their intertwined history can be traced as far back as the 9th century, when the medieval state of Kievan Rus was established, a precursor to both modern Russia and Ukraine. Fast forward to the 20th century, the Ukrainian territory has been a hotbed of power struggles, particularly during the Soviet era. Ukraine was a vital part of the Soviet Union, with its rich agricultural lands and strategic location. However, the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked a turning point, as Ukraine declared independence, a move that Russia has found hard to fully accept. Putin has often reflected on these historical events, emphasizing their influence on the current state of affairs. This historical context is critical to understanding the current tensions. In this exclusive interview, President Putin has provided a unique perspective on the war in Ukraine, outlining a narrative that is deeply intertwined with the nation's past. The conflict's roots, as per Putin, are embedded in historical events and geopolitical shifts. He also addressed concerns about potential U.S. aggression, emphasizing the need for dialogue and mutual respect in international relations. Putin's insights into the establishment of Soviet Ukraine and the implementation of Ukrainianization policies further highlighted the complexities of Russia-Ukraine relations. This interview offers just a glimpse into the intricate dynamics of the Ukraine situation. There's much more to explore, more perspectives to understand. Hence, we encourage you to delve deeper into the subject, to stay informed and aware of the developments in Ukraine. Thank you for watching. Stay informed. Stay engaged. We hope you found this video informative. If it stirred your thoughts, please feel free to hit that like button. Share it with your friends and family to keep the conversation going. And don't be shy to leave a comment below. We value your opinions. For those who want to dive deeper into the topic, there are reputable sources out there that provide comprehensive insights. Remember, your voice matters. Stay tuned for more insightful content.